All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, everyone. We're starting this live stream. I'm going to share the link YouTube. Okay. Let's wait a couple minutes just to check everything is okay. So, great. I'm going to start just to make a presentation of myself and also with my partners, just to wait a little bit to start this live stream that is about Cursor, Lovable, V0, REPL.it, and Windsurf, and what the fuck is the difference between all of those. And gonna be for no code developers or for developers that have not experience with coding, and also for any user, any person that wants to learn about no code developer or wants to be a bad coder and or wants to build any app, any Web3 or Web 2.5 app in Cody blockchain and Cody network. So perfect. I want to present myself first. I'm Rafael Fuentes. I'm a blockchain full stack engineer. I have 5 years of experience in blockchain. I made and I worked building creating smart contracts, building dApps, building apps, and building APIs. Absolutely. Um, but yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask in the chat. At the end of this live stream, we're gonna let you know about the next live streams if you want to keep learning. All right, keep learning about no code stuff and about AI tools just to build any smart contract or any dApp, any website, any launch, any smart contract, anything you can learn here in the following live streams. So I'm gonna let to my partners present them by themselves. So I'm gonna pass you, Robert, the word just to present yourself, please.
Hi, thank you, Rafa.
Yeah.
I'm Robert. I'm the odd doc today. I'm actually here as an event organizer of Vibe Coding events, where these tools are also offered. And I'm here also to learn and to ask questions from a low coder's point of view. And I'm really looking forward to this, as I also have ideas to build out myself. And yeah, thank you for hosting today.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much, Robert. So happy to have you here. All right, and here we have other engineers and any other developer relations here. First, Davey, then Percival, and Pedro is here. So we're gonna start with you, Davey. Do you want to present yourself? That you have a live stream the last Monday, so
Yes.
just should be quick. Yeah.
Thanks, Rafa. Yeah, I'm Davi. I'm an engineer at stakecody.com. Really quick about me. Over the past few years, deeply involved in the blockchain space, especially in EVM networks. I can say I work on everything from smart contract to infrastructure and security. But here at Cody, my focus is on helping users onboard the platform with the support of AI tools and also contribute to building new privacy focused solutions. So, yeah, really, really glad to be here with you all today, Rafa, Percival, Opendra, and Robert, for this live stream. And we're here to help as well, to ask questions, to learn, and to support in this live stream. Yes, I will pass to Percival.
Hello, hi Rafa. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Percival Lucina, developer relation engineer here at stay.cody.io. I'm from Brazil. I also have been in the blockchain space since 2016, wearing different hats as a researcher, manager, and also as a software engineer. I'm really excited to be working with this engineer team from Cody, bringing privacy to the public blockchain. I'll be around this chat to talk to you and help answering questions. You can count on me for digging deeper into the Cody universe.
Thank you, Percival. And we
Stupendra.
can with Upendra. Yeah, Upendra.
Yeah, hi Rafa for inviting me here. Hi everyone. So I'm Upendra Singh. I'm from India. I'm working as a developer in the Koti uh, state.koti.io, and I've been working in blockchain domain from last 5 years. I've started with the smart contract as everyone, and then shifted to developing core layer one, layer two solutions for the blockchain as well. Now here at stay.koti, I'll be helping you guys to create wonderful privacy based protocols. I'll be guiding you and helping you how can use and utilize all the AI tools present in the market. And in this live stream, I'll be helping you guys with your questions and also asking few questions to the Rafa. Thank you, Rafa, for having me here, and also I'll get back to the Rafa.
Thank you so much, Upendra. Thank you so much, team, to present yourself. So yeah, okay, let's start with check and having a tour around any AI tools. So this is the a quick agenda. We're going to explore the AI dev tools. We're going to make a live demos and coding, and then we're going to deploy our project that usually is more for front end stuff. And we need to also find your perfect tool, because there is any kind of tool that is not for everyone, or not for everyone, but is not for like any development that you want to make. And yeah, absolutely, you can make some questions and we're gonna make some answers for you, any questions you have. All right, so let's start with basics. As you can see, maybe you have seen in YouTube or in Twitter or X, actually, or in social media about LLM, right? What is LLM and what is the relations with AI? So let's start with the definition of LLM. LLM means large language model, that we can split in keywords. Taking the large means that there is a billion of parameters. That means there is a bunch and a huge information of a context, like for topics. And for example, if when you make a prompt, or when you make a question to ChatGPT about, hey, what is what is AI or what is blockchain? So the AI has already a context that this means the large, that has already a billions of parameters, or a bunch of information to give you an answer and to give you that information. Right? The language means human language, because you are asking um, any words you know, and you want to make any question to the AI. And also we have the model. That model means a mathematical system. But let's keep really simple. In definition, we can define this as a very big AI brain trained to understand and generate human language. All right, super basic. This is LLM. And why I want to keep this basic in the start, because any AI we will explore today is an LLM. Some AI is already has an LLM with context specifically for coding, or specifically for designing, for designing, for front end or whatever. All right. So we're gonna start also with the type of AI. If we look around in terms of AI development tools, and you want to start coding or to build your own startup or your own project, we can split in three types. All right. The first one is LLM generalist. That means that you can use that AI for any topic. All right. If you, I know that you have tried ChatGPT or Cloud, that you can ask any question, even with code, even with maths, even with physics, even with history, or whatever you can ask to that AI. Right. In the second one, we have code. um, I'm gonna present you um, in the next minutes about this one. But the first one is Windsurf, Cursor, and Repl.it. All right. What is this one? All right. So we have an IDE. Then IDE is basically editor of code. You can download those IDE in Google. You can search, hey, Windsurf or Cursor or Repl.it, and Cursor you can download. As you can see, I have already downloaded those tools or those apps. So we're gonna explore in the next minutes about these ones. And the favorites of a lot of people is about front end and websites, right? Because when you are trying to make a web app, you want an AI to make your code and want to make your site or your launch site or adapt that connects to MetaMask or to make a transaction or whatever. All right. So the last one is Lovable VC Rumbles. I'm gonna present you this one too. But these tools are amazing. Also, you can deploy in those apps or in those AI tools. You can deploy to production or you can deploy to internet. All right. So, all right. As you can see, there is a little bit about FOMO or trending topic that is vibe coding in X. So I show you this meme because the last year, developers that use AI tools and using no code stuff, they were called as no code developers, right? But this year, it's in trending topic about vibe code and vibe coders. So this is always happening. Maybe the next year is calling like another concept or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, sorry, who is speaking?
No, no, like I
Yeah,
just telling that was funny.
yeah. Thank you, Pendra. All right, so let's start with LLM generalist. We can, as you can see, I mean, everyone have used it, ChatGPT and Cloud. I don't need to show you how to make a question or how to chat with ChatGPT or Cloud. So, but let's try it like, hey, ChatGPT, uh, you are a blockchain developer. We are giving some context. Um, just to make a simple smart contract with ChatGPT. But as you can see, ChatGPT is really fast and it's super cool. Just building smart contracts. So let's try this same prompt with ChatGPT and Cloud, and let's see the answer and how is it going. Right. So you're a blockchain developer, expert in Solidity language,
So
and
do you need to give these models a role first so they understand how they need to think and reason?
yeah, no, well, yeah, ChatGPT will understand your context that you are writing here. And if you want to make it something, you need to absolutely ask to ChatGPT, hey, I'm giving a context, I want this output, and I want to make this thing, right? So they will represent this context and output and the main thing you want. But yeah, for example, in talking about cloud is also an LLM generalist, but there is something that they already has a little bit of context about code uh, because I mean because of the company behind them that is Anthropic. But yeah, they will build anything you want. In terms of code, we are trying to make like a simple smart contract here. But yeah.
Can I use a prompt like this? Can I reuse it, for instance, for Google Gemini or another AI engine?
Yeah, we can use other AI, but for example, in terms talking about Gemini, we can use also Gemini. All right, let's go to Gemini, and we can answer. We can ask to Gemini use the same prompt. All right, let's see how it's working those three. But the thing here is that ChatGPT and Cloud are the best one and are faster than the other AI tools. But absolutely, yeah, LLM generalistic also have a context and have a bunch of information about code, so they will answer like your question absolutely. But the thing here is the quality of the code that AI tool is giving you is better than the other one, or it gonna worse, or has not vulnerabilities. So yeah, we need to choose the best AI tool that can make you a quality code or quality smart contract, right? But okay, let's try the first three AI tools for LLM generalistic. So okay, let's start with giving a context. You're a blockchain developer expert in Solidity language, and you gonna create a staking smart contract, all right? So we're gonna paste this prompt in Gemini and in Cloud just to see which is better, all right? Let's compare.
And Rafa, the answer you get really depends on the context you provide, right? There are different blockchains, there are different technologies, and your context don't give you much examples on which tools you intend to use.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Depends a lot of the context, because maybe they know or the AI knows what is staking, but maybe they don't know which ERC20 token I want to use, or if I want to give an ERC21, or yeah, absolutely depends of the context. If you want a better result, you need to give a bunch of context, all right? But yeah, okay, as we can see, ChatGPT is um, defining, all right, defining what is the token type and the reward mechanism, the lock period. So this is cool. All right, we can use this copy and paste to Remix ID. That is another code editor for smart contracts. And as we can see, Cloud is giving us a long smart contract. Is actually already writing. So I don't know, but I'm trusting Marine Cloud because is adding some comments in each variable, is giving a comment in each mapping, in each event, or actually in event no, but in constructor and in modifier. And ChatGPT is not giving that. Is not writing comments. For example, in Gemini, even is not adding any comments. So we can say that the cloud is already teaching us about this smart contract and about how it's working this smart contract. All right. Actually, okay, let's see how it's using the libraries of OpenZeppelin. That OpenZeppelin is the big library for security smart contracts. So yeah, all of them are using OpenZeppelin. Oh, look at this. Gemini is not using OpenZeppelin, so maybe is vulnerable and is dangerous to use. So is not. I mean, I want to trust in this smart contract from Gemini, right? But I trust more in cloud. It's actually even using the interface of the ERC20 smart contract, is using the safe ERC smart contract and ownable range transparency word and safe math, and we can compare to the result of ChatGPT, and actually it's just using the ownable and ERC20 libraries. The interesting thing here is that ChatGPT is using MPC curve. What is MPC curve? As you can see, if we read carefully, this line is importing a library from the Cody smart contracts. All right, what is what is Cody contracts? Cody has a library for private smart contracts. All right, so they also have a huge smart contract that is called as MPC core. So, but why this happen if I didn't write that use MPC library or any Cody contracts library? Why? Because as Percival said, we already gave to ChatGPT a context about MPC core. You don't see here, but in the in the last days, I have been using ChatGPT just to train and to make some private smart contracts. So ChatGPT is already taking that context to use this library. All right. In the case of cloud, I did the same thing, but here is not using MPC core. All right. But
So during your conversations, it learned what to expect from you and adjusted what it would give you back.
yes, exactly. And this is super cool that ChatGPT has, that they learn if in any conversation you have with them, or what you have with ChatGPT, and learn and can define better what kind of smart contract you want. All right. But yeah, as Percival said, we need to give more context if we want a very exact output or a better smart contract. All right. But yeah, we tried this smart contract. You can ask for to give or to write other smart contracts, any kind. I just tried to make it start taking smart contract. And all right, this is an LLM AI. Okay, let's go to something more interesting. But okay, yes,
I have a question before we
yeah,
go. So you mentioned that Claude, in comparison to others, was using, let's say, best practices with the library for vulnerabilities to make sure and do
yeah.
checks. As a new user, I would not know that. So what could I best ask? Could I ask for best practices before I generate such a thing, even if I'm looking for something small?
Okay, yeah. So this is interesting because this is more depends about your prompt. As we can see, this is a prompt that I make to Cloud, but the prompt means everything, all right? Because I'm not defining exactly what kind of stake smart contract I want to have, or if I want to a small smart contract, or if I want a smart contract that gives rewards of 2 or 3 or 4 years E20, but it will depends about the prompt. All right, we're gonna have a live stream about how to create the perfect prompt, and the perfect prompt just to give you exactly what you need. But yeah, it depends a lot of the prompt. And okay, but yeah, cloud have a little bit of context of code, but that is not that is not the meaning that will give you a better answer about in the case of using a perfect prompt that won't give you a better smart contract than ChatGPT. All right, it will depend of the prompt, it will depend of the context you are giving to, and also defining the output or the exactly output you want to receive. Mhm. So yeah.
Uh, Robert, if I can add here, like all three tools have given us a different result. As Rafa has said, like if we can see here, Claude has given us better result, as Gemini has predicted something which we didn't even ask for that, and Claude has given us generalized answer, I guess, right? And but what from there we can easily find like Gemini has not done a great, uh, not provided a great result. But between ChatGPT and Claude, Rafa, what do you think? Which one has given us better result?
Yeah, we can try. I'm inviting to anyone that is watching this live stream just to try and experiment with cloud and ChatGPT. And also, there is for example, anyone has a favorite AI tool because it's most comfortable and is quicker. And we can choose any AI that is better for anyone. All right. So, but in terms of quality, in terms of code and smart contract or any script or anything you want to code, you can. I highly recommend cloud. But
And
okay,
yeah, talking about the beginner developer, if we can say like if beginner gonna be asking three tools to write a smart contract, and now he's confused which one has given us a proper contract and which don't has a security issue, could we also use prompt engineering or use that tools to check out the securities of these contract, cross check the securities and find out the better one?
good questions. Yeah, good question. Yeah, we can use actually the other AI tool just to ask if this smart contract has vulnerabilities or is safe. So
Yeah.
let's try that prompt. All right. So we're gonna ask to ChatGPT, hey, I have a smart contract. Check if it's safe and if it has vulnerabilities. Okay, and we paste the smart contract. We are making a question, and let's copy this same prompt and ask to Cloud. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of cool. Like we can, also check the securities of the smart contract by using each
Yeah.
tools. We can cross verify each contract from using these tools, and I think for the beginner, this is the task. You need to try different prompts and then gonna be comfortable with any one tool.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's super cool that we can use also the same our other AI to check a smart contract that you are writing or that you made with other, like for example we made with Gemini, and we are trying to find which is something dangerous or whatever. In this case, ChatGPT is actually reading and is giving us that security issues improves. As we can see, they write which uh, variables, mapping events, and functions are good, but also ChatGPT found a vulnerability that is about rentrency vulnerability. Okay, it explained which part and which lines appears the vulnerability, and then explains to me which is, and also is giving me a solution that is using
Yeah.
rentrency word. And if we remember, Cloud is using a rentrency word library. All right, let's confirm then, but we can see the solution and we can see other vulnerability. There is like 4, 5, and 6 vulnerabilities here. ChatGPT is also suggesting me and whatever, but okay, let's check it out. Cloud is telling me that, okay, let's first confirm that, yeah, as you can see, Cloud is using that library that ChatGPT is recommend me to use. Okay, Claudius saying that there is critical issues here, and he explained me what exactly is. Also, there is like the range transient vulnerability, but not like in terms of using the library, just in terms of on a function. If we go and try to search that function, we can see the line that they are saying as where is the vulnerability. Okay, and also there is some recommendation as ChatGPT. But great question, Supendra. We can use AI also to just to check smart contracts and just to make and add some functions and check if there is something bad or something dangerous or whatever thing. Okay,
And
so
I think the Claude has done great job because reentrancy attack is the basic attack on the smart contracts, and like ChatGPT didn't put that, but Claude has put that library. That's a
yeah,
better job.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Okay, we can finish this in this step with LLM, and let's start with the code IDEs. All right, we're gonna start with Windsurf and Cursor, but first of all, I want to show you where you can find, because if you search Windsurf IDE, you will find this website, and you can download the editor. Super pretty easy, and also with Cursor, use your Cursor IDE, and you can download the app. In this case, I already have downloaded, but that's it. I just wanted to show how you can find it in Google. So, okay, let's start with Cursor. Maybe I have a project here that is a scaffolding, and I am in a couple of minutes. I'm going to show how this scaffolding looks. But I'm for the users or for our viewers that have a little bit of experience with code or coding of front end development, you will know that this is a Next.js framework that I am using. So I already make a setup. Okay, but yeah. This is
Does that come with the IDE, or did you import that somehow?
Oh, okay. Good question. We need to implement this. Yeah, so you need to implement this um, setup environment because the IDE is more for, as I said, you as a editor or code editor. So, but you need to create your own environment of code and your own files for coding. And but I'm gonna show you how you can make a quick start. This is already in scaffolding, and it explains so fine how you can start a front end development with this. But yeah, okay. So you need to learn about the basics of coding to make this setup, this kind of setup. If you want to make a backend with an API, or if you want to make a website or a web app with any framework like React, Angular, that a framework is actually like we can define as a huge library of could be like in TypeScript or JavaScript language for for front end stuff or for front end development. All right. So yeah, absolutely, you need to make a setup. And as I said, yeah, it's for more developers or more users that have a little bit experience of development. So you may know that you make a setup. In this case, I already make with Next. And okay, we have, as we can see, this IDE in different comparing with VS Code, that is another famous IDE. We have a chat here. Okay, what is this chat? This chat is basically like an LLM that we have. We tried before the ChatGPT or Cloud, and we can chat with this IDE and ask for anything to code. Okay, in the case I'm in this file, and I'm gonna write anything just to build something. Okay, I'm gonna ask for to cursor to build a component that makes a transaction using ethers. Remember, or let's have a run about this library. Ethers is a library that you can use to interact with smart contracts. All right, I will explain better in a couple of minutes, but it's basically this library using ethers. And yeah, that makes a transaction using ethers, and I want to see the transaction hash, and the block number of the operation. Okay, let's see how it looks. I have in Spanish, but you can configure any language you want. We can
Could we,
see.
maybe for the stream, zoom in a little bit as well on
Sorry,
the text?
could you,
Uh, if you can zoom it.
Yeah, just for the stream, if we can zoom in a little bit.
oh, okay. Yeah. We can zoom it. Um,
Yeah, Rafa. And you are using the standard options, right, Rafa? You're not using any specific different context, and there are also the different plugins you can add to your chat. It's way more powerful than what you have on a standard chat on Gemini or on ChatGPT, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. First of all, I cannot zoom it, but the important thing here is that we can. I mean, Cursor already gives us the code, and but yeah, first of all, you're right. Cursor, I already have a context about the files I have here in my left, and Cursor knows that I'm in a front end development, reading the kind of file that I'm here. That is an TypeScript of React file. So yeah, they know what kind of output needs to give us. All right, but yeah, Cursor is trained to specifically for code development, and not for any other topics, only for development. And for so that's why is there is a specific answer and a great answer. So okay, let's accept the results. As we
Rafa,
can
but
see,
if talking
yeah,
about the beginner, like if we have seen the Claude and ChatGPT, he has an interface. He can go and type a prompt and get a code and all. But here, as you saw us, like he gonna be downloading a IDE, and then here we come a folder where we have seen bunch of codes like Robert has already told. So is there any way, if any person who is a complete beginner, who how can he come with that a folder, how can he create a folder and then do that, or can he use a combination of AI tools like ask ChatGPT to do that and then you know uh, open that in the IDE? What process he should follow, like, because he gonna be complete beginner, he don't know how to code and how to use a IDE and all.
no, yeah, I mean, you can use also ChatGPT and Cloud for this development. But the thing here is that Cursor already is. Once you make a setup, I make a setup in Next.js, they are reading that context and they understand what kind of file and what kind of components needs to code for you. All right, but you're right. We can combine this type of code using ChatGPT, but we need to be clever just to write a great prompt. For example, I'm gonna go to Cloud. I'm giving some context to Cloud. I have a Next.js framework, and I'm using Ether's library to make transactions. Okay, this is the context. I want. Oh, let's ask to Cloud to build a
Or we
component.
can also ask Cloud to like how to create a setup for the cursor or for a ID Next.js setup, so that I can open a ID like using scaffolder cursor. Maybe we can mix these tools.
Yeah. We can use. I mean, we can use this LLM AI like JBGP and Cloud just to make components, and you can paste here
Yeah.
using that. All right. But let's go back to the result of cursor. As we can see, it's explaining it to me that added or actually created a new component. And if we go to the directory components, we can see the file here. All right. Yeah, there is a period, there's some errors, but we can fix that. No worries. And okay, all of this cursor got it for me, and is adding me some comments here, so it's fine. And also is importing that component here in index. All right, remember that we use this file to add that component. Okay, so fine. What happens if we have an error? We can use the same AI, like in this case cursor. We just hover here and we click on quick fix, and I have another AI assistant that is Tab9. The Tab9 is another AI assistant, but is not native of Cursor. This is a plugin, all right? So there is some plugins around there that you can use in Cursor and then Windsurf. But I'm gonna use the AI of Cursor, all right? As we can see, is fixing it. Yeah, sometimes it's not. Working so fine because you need to give like a more context. So we can just explore this and add to GPT and ask that fix unsettled data. All right, let's
So you
check
can
if it,
iterate on what you already created. You can say, okay, improve yourself, basically.
yeah, exactly. So okay, this is giving us an error, but okay, this is normal. This is normal to happen. Just so you just need to, okay, let's see this. It's keeping writing here just a solution. We're gonna save this. We're gonna save this one. Okay, it's keeping writing here. This is interesting because it's asking you if you want to add that solution that is proposing you, and if you don't want to add it, you just need to reject. All right, but this is super cool of Cursor. It's so dynamic to use. But all right, I already solved the issue I have. But if we can see, there's appearing another issue that is of import. All right, so let's see what is happening here. But yeah, the thing here is that you can ask and you can use Cursor just to fix your issues you have while you are coding, and also to add some components and whatever. Okay, so let's try Windsurf. Windsurf, I have the same project that Cursor, and let's ask the same. Let's use the same prompt here. That is build a component that makes a transaction using ethers. Okay. Let's ask here.
And as a new user, you can also ask it to provide comments with everything, like to understand the steps it's taking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. For example, in Windsurf is also cool because we can is helping us. If you have not experience in development, you can use these tools that is providing you, that you can deploy your app, that you can make a preview of your website, and you can see the terminal to see like any issue you have while it's building this project. Okay, is something like Cursor is explaining to you that going to help you with our prompt, and is keeping writing.
Rafa, this is really cool, that functionality of autocomplete. I mean, or auto run the commands, right? So if you
Yeah,
want, you can just keep Windsurf to figure out the errors, and it will read your output from your terminal, and the Windsurf will try to fix the code for you. You can just like have a vibe coding, right? Let the Windsurf doing everything for you. But I was also noticed that Windsurf, we cannot have like a restore. If you want to restore a specific point in time, as far as I know, we can do that. We can actually approve and reject the changes, right? But if you want to go back, let's say, uh, 5 changes earlier in the history, I think we don't have that option, right? We just have the control of approving and
yeah.
and rejecting the latest changes, right, on the code.
Yeah, exactly. That's super cool because you are actually having a conversation with a Cursor and with Windsurf, and like using as an assistant, right? And a coding assistant. So yeah, that's super cool and so powerful that you can make some changes and you can reject it. For example, in this case, is giving me a result and I already accept. Okay, and it brought me like this component, okay, that I'm using here. But okay, this is super cool and this is so fine, but let's see if this is working. Okay, let's make a preview of the of this website. We're gonna start this preview. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, this everything of this kind of happened, but no worries. All right, we're gonna see with Lovable Bolt and V0 how it looks. But yeah, we can finish with Windsurf Cursor. It's super cool. If you have some experience in development, I highly recommend any of those. This is more for if you like Windsurf or Cursor. I will use both. But yeah, you can improve them, and that's it. You can,
Just
yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
just to add like a comment here, like Cursor and Windsurf, they came like from the same project. Let's say they are like a fork from VS Code. Or if
okay,
you are already familiar working with VS Code, you will be very comfortable working with Windsurf and Cursor, because you have exactly the same functionality. Probably the marketplace is not the same, but we can find exactly, the same functionality if you're already familiar with VS Code. you'll be really comfortable
Yeah,
with them.
yeah, good point. Good point. It's like using the same IDE as a template and then added the plugins and the features. But yeah, go ahead, Pedro. Sorry.
Yeah, so one thing I noticed, like as it can see, it sees like complicated for the beginner, but if we compare with the ChatGPT and Claude, there we were just creating the code of a page or two page, and still we don't know like where to run that. We need to go to a IDE and run your code by copy pasting all the files from that. But if you want to manage a big code and a project, you need to have a folder structure and a IDE where you maintain that. And what Windsurf and Cursor has done, they had integrated their AI tool into the IDE. When you become used to with the IDE, it's like very helpful for you. Like your code is continuously being saved and changes are made on that. And the point Davi has made, like that's very important, a restore point, because like in the development, if in future you keep changes and you thought like the projects and the UI being becoming worse and worse with the new prompt, you need to go back to the starting point, like a commit, like to the previous commit, because the code has broken. I think this ID needs such functionality, and maybe we'll be seeing that in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it depends also how much you want to develop and how much you want to use Cursor and Windsurf. But remember something. Remember that exists the tokens, that the tokens will spend the amount of prompts you are asking for. So yeah, we have a limit about how many prompts we can use in Cursor, the same with Windsurf, because as you know, this is like you need to pay for a limit amount of tokens to use and to asking or writing some prompts to Cursor and Windsurf. And it's not even with this one. It's also applying to V0, to ChatGPT, to Cloud. That that you can see what is the limit of Windsurf and Cursor, because many sometimes depends. If we compare Cloud and ChatGPT in terms of if we spend the tokens, Cloud is lower than ChatGPT. ChatGPT is giving you a lot of free prompts or free tokens, and Cloud is more limited to that. And it also depends if you want to keep your plan free or if you want to upgrade your plan. But is is another point that I wanted to say. Okay, but all right, enough with code. Let's go with something that many people likes. That is about creating websites and creating webs and then deploy it. So okay, any comments here, team, before we keep
Actually,
going?
well, actually, yeah. Based on what you said about tokens, as a new
Yeah.
user, would you need to be rich to be able to build your application, or do you need paid subscriptions to iterate into something you can deploy, or would you say no? With free versions, you can only get to something working if you want to.
Okay, yeah, no, it's absolutely for subscription. For example, in ChatGPT, you need to, if I don't remember, you can find here upgrade your plan. This is super easy how to upgrade your plan. For example, I want to upgrade my plan with ChatGPT, and that's it. It appears how what kind of plan you want to contract. All right. In the case of ChatGPT, it costs around 20 USD, and we can see also here the details. All right. For free ChatGPT, you're accessing to ChatGPT for all mini and reasoning and standard voice mode, real time data. All right. We can compare also with cloud. Okay. Um, I have also here the build plans, and we can compare also which is giving us best the best features. Also, you can use like in app analyze text and images. But yeah, you can just compare any AI just to kind of to pay the best one. Okay. Also with Gemini, but with Cloud ChatGPT and also with Windsurf and Cursor, I paid Cursor. It cost me $20, and I highly recommend because it bootstrapping any project you want to make. And but yeah, it's by subscription. Okay.
Rafa, one thing, just a final, comment on Cursor and Windsurf. One thing that I have noticed is that once the code starts to get too complex, it's best to give like the more context, more file context to the editor. Otherwise, for example, Windsurf will start changing parts of the code that were working. So if you have like a lot of files in your solution, you can specify using the symbol. You can specify the folder that you want the AI to focus on fixing things. So because the AI has like the full context, right, of your entire solution, but sometimes you want the AI just to analyze some folder or the test folder, for example, and then you can prevent the AI to change other parts of your application that's working fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, just something that I noticed that it start working when you code start getting so complex, right, with so many files. You can give that code or folder context to the
Yeah.
AI. Mhm.
Yeah, and I also noticed and these two ID also providing some features in Cursor. I have noticed you can also mention the documentation link. Like if you are going to create some project on the Next.js or React libraries, so you can also put the library link like you're gonna be using that. So if you can put the link of that documentation of that library, maybe some framework and all, and you can then mention in your prompt that use this documentation to create this. So this is part of prompt engineering. And also using then what cursor gonna be downloading that documentation, and then get itself available with all the new functionality of that documentation, that framework, and implement that. So what I think, like when you start using these tools daily basis, you're gonna be learning how much they can provide and how much your prompt can be improved, so that you are helping your ID, your tool so much to give you exact result what you want.
Yeah.
Not just giving a random prompt and then thinking that this AI tool gonna be create a magic for you and create exactly what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can play around Windsurf and Cursor, and there is a lot of features you can use. So eventually, well, the people is learning about coding and development. They will needs uh, some functions that they are providing. But yeah, absolutely agree. Okay, without comments right now, we can go with the front end stuff, and we gonna create a launch site. Okay, okay. First of all, let's start with the V0 tour. V0 is super easy. As you know, you can write this in your browser, and you will find out this one page that I am right now. And there is one feature is super interesting that is about community. If you can see right now, the community publish some templates that you can use, and you can improve, and you can use to bootstrap, or you can use to create your own site or your own components or your own blocks. If we look around, we're gonna find that there is some forks. That basically a fork is like a copy of that template, and we can find dashboards, we can find charts, we can find marketplaces, we can find Supabase starter, a lot of dashboards here, some charts too, some landings here, and this is so cool from V0. because you can, if you want to make a dashboard quickly, you can, I don't know, you can take this template and you can start to work here. All right. Also, it's not only for templates; it's also giving like components. For example, we want to see this currency transfer animation. Okay, this you can use this component and use to your site or to your dApp that you are building once you make a transaction. Okay, and for example, this is so cool. We can repeat. There is an animation here. That's super fine that V0 have. Okay, let's have it around Lovable. Lovable is also cool. As you can see, I have some projects here, and yeah, it's also for an app if you want to create it here. Also, we have Bolt. You can see Bolt.new. You can find it here as in Google. And interesting thing here from Bolt and V0 is that you can import from Figma. Remember that Figma, or the people doesn't know what is Figma. Figma is a web app where you can make design, UI design, or for website design, and you can import those files here just to create your own site that you are designing there. Okay, you can use it for V0, but for V0 you need to pay your plan. You need to upgrade your plan to use that that Figma files. Okay, let's stop to tag and let's start to build. We want to make okay, we're gonna, let's say that create a dashboard of crypto. Super simple prompt. Okay, remember that these kind of AI tools already have a context, a huge context about front-end development, so they will learn and they know what framework and what language they need to use. Okay, let's start with Lovable, then Bold, and then V0. Okay, let's see which is faster. Okay, V0 is already writing here. Lovable 2 and Bold 2. We can see how he's writing fast. Oh my god. And okay, let's wait. Let's see. Bold is super interesting because we can, if we go to cursor, I made manually, of course, this setup with some comments, and Bold you can see also like the structure of the project here. Okay, in the case of V0 it won't, but nobody cares about that. Our the thing we care is about the preview and the result. Okay, in the case of Lovable 2, if I don't remember. Okay, it already finished it. Oh, okay, it doesn't. Okay, is it still working? Okay, still writing. Okay, Lovable already made our dashboard. Let's see the results. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so there is a title, there is some tabs here. We can see a chart of our dashboard, and we can see a top currencies here, and there is a table about our currencies, symbol, price, and 24 change. This is absolutely not connected. We know that Bitcoin is not in this price, right? And
Yeah,
well,
I,
yeah, right.
I was
So
shocked.
Fortunately.
absolutely, absolutely. All this,
Is there is there actually a difference between the different tools in that one of them is more, as you said, connected or interactive than the others, perhaps, which is why it's taking longer?
yeah, will be. Let's see the result, because maybe, for example, maybe Bolt on V0 is connecting uh, to to real-time data, but I don't think so, because we needed to add it into the context that say, hey, use TradingView, for example, that is like a website where we can see the prices and everything like that, and use the TradingView to inject the real-time data and the real-time price. But
but,
yeah,
but
it is.
all the platform are showing Bitcoin price are really low. But I want to show viewers like Bitcoin is still at $84,000. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Because all the platforms are showing at 50, 50, which we have created.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's interesting because I also noticed that most of the tool, especially V0, you try
Uh,
to mock your data unless you tell that you need to integrate it with some other API. You try to start by the simplest approach possible. I mean, mocking the data for you. But if you tell them in the prompt that you need to integrate it with like CoinMarketCap, V0 actually does a good work on trying to integrate with the API and showing you the real results. Because I tested it taking a screenshot of the coin market cap and pasting the screenshot and basically V0 starting creating the code and also the look and feel to make it very similar to the coin market cap. This is something that's nice because if you like the look and feel, the UI of a specific website, you can took a screenshot and paste it to allows the UI the AI to make it very similar
yeah,
with this
yeah.
website.
V0 recognize so fine the images that when yeah, like you make a screenshot about CoinMarketCap table and you ask for to V0 to copy that table, it actually works so fine. But yeah, when you need to upgrade if you want to have a better result, but absolutely yes. For example, this site is from V0 and we can see the market overview, like the global market, the vehicle dominance, like the fear and greed index, so important, the top movers, top losers, top gainers, and also it's giving us like some tabs here. Or okay, yeah, look, like Debbie say, it's taking like the image, and it is adding it here. Like in the case of Lovable, it's not. It's actually made our chart. All right, this is working so fine, and Visio is like, okay, I'm gonna take the screenshot, and I don't care. I'm gonna paste it here, and that's it. But yeah, let's see if it's not working. So yeah, this is not like so good for us. So okay, let's see Vault. How Vault
I
is
actually
working.
wonder if that data, if it's not live, if it
Yeah,
resembles the time when it was learning and taking this in as a snapshot,
yeah, exactly,
because
exactly.
they're all prices.
Because of the prices. But yeah, the same thing. We need to give more context. For example, Vault is actually the dashboard looks so good. Is adding a navbar, is adding a menu in the left, is adding like the other, but it's not working here, of course. So it's not good, so good. But it's adding us the top currency here and some cards in in this page. But all right, like the first place, I will say that is Lovable, because it added a chart that we can use this chart and add real time prices. All right, let's try that. In the chart, add real time price of
but
Cody, Cody
but
crypto.
in between, I want to mention like these tools has solved a very entry barrier for the beginner. Like in the cloud and chat gpt, we need to ask the folder structure and file and then go to id. And for the cursor or Windsurf, we need to download the id and then set up the folder structure. In this, we are just giving a prompt and it is already setting up a folder structure for us, and we can directly change this folder structure by giving the prompt here. So everything is in browser, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
And this solves a very big entry barrier for the beginners. As for a beginner, setting up a id and everything is quite a task. But if you get everything in the browser, that's like that's really good. And this is very beginner friendly, I think.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. In the case of V0, we need to use more prompts to reach to our goal or to our output that we want. But yeah, it depends of how many prompts we are using to receive the thing we want. Okay, so for example, in Lovable, that won the first prompt, we are using a second prompt, like in the chart, add a real-time price of Cody crypto. And it added. Okay, let's check if this is real. So we're gonna compare to coin market cap. Okay, and we need to search Cody.
Looks like it's right.
Looks right, right? Yeah. For example, in this time, right now, it costs that price. And if we go to Lovable, where's Lovable?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, it worked. Yeah, there's a little bit of a sleep page or some not exactly price, but yeah, it's injecting the real time price right now in this chart. So okay, okay, Lovable is super cool, but it depends also about the kind of prompt you are writing, because V0 also is super cool and pretty easy, like bold and whatever. Okay, so this is amazing because with less than an hour you can build your own site and your own dashboard. Okay, let's publish and let's see uh, if this is going to be public. In the case of Lovable, appears the publish feature thing here, and in case of Bolt, like the same, we're going to deploy. As you can see, it's using Netlify just to deploy it. And in the case of V0, as you know, V0 looks like the logo as Vercel. So Vercel is the company behind V0. So it absolutely deployed to Vercel. Okay, we're gonna deploy all of them. And that's it. We already have our public link. If you search this link, you will find out this site. The same thing with Bolt. This is the URL. But I need to create an account in Netlify, and V0 also will be public. That is building right now. So the same thing in the deployment. Lovable was faster than Vault and V0. All right. Okay, this is so cool. You can create your own webs, your own launch sites, and okay, as I said, you can deploy in Vercel. Also in REPL.it. I didn't try REPL.it, but my partner here, Percival, gonna make a live stream the next Monday, or actually the next 21 of April. That is about how you can use REPL.it, because REPL.it is a huge topic, a big topic that you can explore. And all right, this is the flow to launch your app. You organize your info in ChatGPT, then you create in V0. This is an example, and then you can deploy to Vercel. In the same thing, you can use Cloud, then you can create in Lovable or Bolt, and then you can deploy in Vercel, Bolt, Netlify, or Lovable. Okay. Also, if you have experience coding or development, it's fine. You can use a code scaffolding. I created this scaffolding that you can use, and I think it's this one. Yeah, that you can use, and you can clone the repo. I'm gonna give you more info about how to clone, how to start a project, how to add some features here. But I'm gonna upgrade this site. But as you can see, there's an app bar, and there is a little bit of features here, just that you can connect your wallet to MetaMask. Okay, this is working. This is the scaffolding you can use, and
Is it connecting to the mainnet, half, or is it connecting
yeah,
to
good
the
question. It's
testnet?
connecting already to the mainnet, and also it's adding to other networks. So the main network here is Cody, and is actually the main network. And also have the Cody the testnet network here. But yeah, and you can onboard that. We're gonna learn in the following live streams about what is onboard your account. But this is for users that have development experience. If you have no development experience, I'm going to share also this link, and you can use it. Okay, if you can see, this is actually using the Cody testnet network. Um, the same thing, but this you can use this template and ask to be zero to add some features. So yeah, this is Cody testnet network connecting here, and there's a simple card that you can see your address, your balance, and your onboarded info. But that's it, super easy. Okay, this is the link. Uh, you can find the site on scaffolding here with this link and this other one like this. Okay, let's go deep in code. Okay, let's explore. Let's have in a tour. Let's have a tour with any kind of AI tools that you like it, and let's start to build in Cody. No wait. Okay, today's Friday, so we actually deploy it in Friday.5 or in time where are you right now. In my case, it's 10 of 10 on Monday. So I want to explain a little bit this meme for you because before AI tools and before no coding development exists, uh, deploy a site or deploy your API is like, oh my God, bro, why you're deploying in Friday? Like, if there is an issue in the deployment, you need to fix it, and you need to your site or your API up and make sure that it's not failing and that has not an issues and errors and whatever. So many people doesn't like to deploy in Friday because the Friday is like a chill day, just to have not code and solve that issues in your API and front end stuff, and fix that. So this is the meaning of the this meme. But in the case of we are using AI tools, this is, as you can see, this doesn't take more than a minute to deploy it, and that's it. It's published in the site, and this is the magic and the best thing of AI tools that you can use. All right. So, okay. Thank you so much. Let's start with the questions and answers. If you have any questions or any comments, team, and the chat, if you have any questions that you want to ask to me, let's start with the questions and answers. And all right, or any comments, team, before we can end the live stream.
I
Yeah, I
have a question.
will.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead, Dependre. You first.
I have a question. I have a question on your Friday thing. If all these AIs like Repl.it, V0, Lovable, and all, are there? Are your intern and you want to certainly not want to choose any one of them to deploy on Friday?
Yeah,
Which will you choose?
yeah. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, but regarding deployment, here we are using the full automated cycle, right? But if you work with some of the tools like Windsurf or with Cursor, they can have Git integration, and you can do normal branching and creating deployments and having more control about what's being deployed. So even if it's on Friday, you still can do a
Yeah.
rollback, right? But if you go on cowboy mode like we are now, you're probably
Yeah.
gonna be in trouble.
So
Yeah.
what you said, first of all, you mentioned Git there. So for beginners, is there a versioning available within Cursor or Windsurf to go back?
They have the control points, right, Robert? They as you interact with the AI, they do something more simple than Git. They created the control points, and you can go back to a specific control point. That's something like a Git commit. They automatically provide you this kind of function. But if you are working on a developer tool, you can have more control, right? You can integrate with the real Git environment, so you have full grained details about what you're currently doing. But even if you're doing none of this and you're a completely new user, you still have some control, maybe less control, but you still have some.
Yeah.
But Rafa, one serious question is like if there are gonna be two type of people. One is going to be complete beginner and one with coding knowledge, and all if they're gonna be choose one coding tool according to you, one for the beginner or one for the experienced developer? Which
Okay,
one you suggest?
all right. I'm gonna give you my recommendations.
Yeah.
I like between cloud and between ChatGPT. I recommend more ChatGPT because you can use a lot of prompts, and ChatGPT responds like is super powerful. In the case of cloud, has the limit of prompts super limited and is lower, super lower. I think like five. I don't remember. You can check it here, but is so low cloud in difference with ChatGPT. Okay, between Windsurf and Cursor, I prefer Cursor. Um, I like more Cursor because it's simple. Everyone wants to have a chat, like a simple chat, right? In terms of Windsurf, okay, yeah, but appears some tooltips that I don't understand, and there is like, okay, I want to deploy or I want to make a preview, but this button is not working. That maybe I make it something wrong, whatever. But Cursor is more easier here. Yeah, Cursor has not the features right here, right now in this moment, but you can chat with Cursor AI and just add some components and everything like that. And it's cheap if you really use every day, or if you code every day. If you want to bootstrap your app or your API, I highly recommend Cursor. And in between, okay, this is gonna be hard in terms of the front end stuff because I love V0. I highly love V0, but I combine like Cursor and V0 just to make like dApps. All right, and for example, in VC Ride, I asked to, hey, make me a component with this animation and with this script connecting with this smart contract using ethers and whatever. But I use more V0 like every 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 time when I use Cursor. All right, so I just try to use both at the same time just to bootstrap my development. Um, but if you want to make a full web with the AGI, I recommend Lovable. Um, but it will depends more of the which do you prefer in terms of which one makes a better UI. Like for example, V0 gives a good UI. Lovable, I'm not fan of this UI, but it works. The thing is that it works. And in both, yeah, actually, I like more this dashboard and this understanding that a dashboard needs to have a menu in the left and have a title and a logo, whatever. But in when I want to create a full web, I prefer Lovable here. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, just adding to this point, Rafa, I also tested some of those tools, not all the tools that you shared today, but I noticed that V0, for example, produces the cleanest code, and also now it supports external integration
okay,
with Supabase, for example, that you can create like a backend layer, a real backend layer, not just like
yeah,
calls to the front end, right?
yeah, exactly,
Lovable, at least for me, use, but it depends. I mean, on the prompt that you are using. In my case, Lovable creates the most beautiful UI, but here, I mean, in live is probably the opposite. It's not so good. REPL.it, somewhere in between, because I missed having a way to autocorrect the code when it fails, for example, like a button to fix it. Sometimes it
yeah,
feels a bit sluggish, and also I need to copy and paste the error and put it on the prompt. And Cursor, Windsurf, they are very similar actually to each other, but I
yeah,
notice the Cursor is faster than Windsurf,
mm,
right?
yeah,
But it's, I mean, it depends. It's what my personal experience with that, but it depends on the prompt, right? And also to give exactly what you want to the AI, like defining the persona, right? The goal of
yeah,
what you want.
exactly.
So it all changes the output. But just to add, I mean, my personal experience also, with those tools. But really, really, really nice.
Yeah, Ravi. So what I think, like, if a person don't want to put any effort, he can directly jump with a Lovable or V0, come with a very cool UI. And when he thinks like the now the full stack thing, like the backend thing is not working properly, then he can easily download that project and open that in the cursor or Windsurf and go for the debugging of the later part. So I think combination of these tools can work proper, and it's also this combination also become beginner friendly. Like he don't need to put any effort, put any folders and all. It's just gonna be giving prompt to the first browser based ID like V0 and Lovable, and then when the beautiful UI has prepared now to integrate with the backend, and if there any error, he can just download that and use open that in IDE and go with the errors. And he also not gonna be out of tokens with that by using the two tools.
Yeah, yeah. No, great point of view, team. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Yes,
have
we
one
have also
more.
played with the tools, Rafa. Yeah, people are talking about REPL.it. Gonna be the next live stream. REPL.it is like a Swiss knife. It can do anything. It can do the back end, it can do the front end, it can deploy everything, paying a single subscription or even on the free layer plan, right? But as a Swiss knife, you won't have the most powerful of all those tools, right? You have all those tools together, you have a single tool that can do all the work for you, right? You don't have to use different tools, but it has its own limitations, right? It's not
yeah,
as configurable as Cursor. Cursor and Windsurf, they offer lots of plugins. We didn't even start exploring all those plugins, right? The plugins basically allow you to do anything you can imagine, right? There is a huge marketplace for plugins,
yeah,
and not only the VS Code plugins. We are talking about plugins that are really allows you to extend what those AIs are capable of, right? Having more complex planning, being
yeah,
able to test for security on the code you write. So it's a completely workspace that allows you to integrate your tools.
yeah,
So the kind of customization those tools offer is quite different. The web tools usually don't offer you as much customization and are not as powerful as the 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 ideas that you have, right?
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Totally agree. All right. Thank you so much, team. If you don't have any other questions, all right. Let's spoiler. Yeah, the following the next live stream gonna be about absolutely REPL.it by Percival. And the 2nd of May, there is another live stream about let's build your first Web 2.5 project. All right, that is creating a transaction or a private and public transaction in Cody Network using V0 and using Lovable, using Bold. Also, let's compare the app that we're gonna build in the next live stream. And thank you so much, team, for your time to be here. So happy to have you, everyone, here. All right, see you later. See you later. Take care of everyone. See you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rafa.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Rafa. Bye bye.